So today we're going to be doing day 2 of literal equations. So for your warm-up, copy these 5 problems down onto your warm-up paper and pause the video to solve, and then when you're ready to check, just go ahead and resume the video. Okay, so here are 1 through 3. I'm actually going to save the next 2 for a quick video tomorrow because we're still working on grading your quizzes and making sure that everybody that was absent has taken them, and those are on your quiz. So I'm not going to take time to go through those just yet. So go ahead and hold on to those for tomorrow, and we'll go over those tomorrow. So literal day 2 on Canvas, you should go and access this document. So it'll be dated today, and you're going to do most of it as practice on your own. And there is a worked out example like the ones that we did yesterday. But before we send you off on your own, there are a couple that I would like to do with you. So if you could turn to the second page at number 7. So let's get that back. Number 7, we're solving for a, which is on the denominator. So you're going to have to manipulate things quite a bit because if it's on the denominator, you still have to move it in order to solve for it because I can't move the k. The k is locked in place per se. So I'm going to move the a over to the other side. And since it's division, I'm going to multiply both sides by a. And so I have AU equals K, and now it's easier for me to solve for that A and isolate because I have multiplication, so I can divide by U, and I get A equals K over U, right? So even though it seemed like there wasn't that many steps, you have to move that variable that you're solving for in order to actually isolate it. Okay, number 9, we're solving for A. And so this one is very similar to the volume equals length times width times height from yesterday. So 12 AM equals 4. I don't know what I'm doing here. 4. So since it's all multiplication and I'm trying to isolate A, I can divide by 12M together. But here's the conversation that we need to have. So this cancels, and you're left with A equals 4 over 12M. But we would never leave a fraction as 4 over 12. So make sure that if you have a fraction, that you simplify it. I had a lot of people that didn't simplify on their quiz, and we didn't take points off this round. But, I mean, y'all need to be simplifying your fractions. So that would be 1/3 m, and that m is on the denominator. Okay, it can't be 1/3 times m because that's not what's happening. Okay, so now number 12, another fraction, but this time the variable we're solving for is in the numerator. So just be mindful that when you have the variable you're solving for in the numerator, you can't access AK until B is moved. Again, it's locked in place. So I need to move that B in order to unlock this A to isolate. So we've got BU equals AK now. So now I can manipulate AK in order to solve for A. So since it's multiplication, we're going to divide by K, and BU over K equals A. Okay? So a couple of different scenarios with those fractional questions. Go ahead and flip over to the next page. We're dealing a lot more with fractions today than the others. So let's look at 15. 15 is the last one that we're going to look at together. So I'm solving for A, but just also be mindful, this is 2 terms. And so remember, you have to isolate the term before you can isolate the variable. So if I have two terms, the term that has A, I need to isolate it first. So I need to move this B. So I'm going to subtract B from both sides. C minus B equals M over A. Okay, so now I'm solving for A. The one that we did on the previous page, remember, if you're solving for the denominator, you still need to move it in order to access it, right? Because I can't mess with that M. There's nothing I can do with the M. You can't multiply by M because it's already on the numerator, right? So I'm going to multiply by A. And so I've got A times Z minus B equals M. But I'm trying to solve for A. So we discussed this yesterday with the trapezoid question, that a grouping is kind of just thought of as one variable, right? So I've got this grouping that I can't access due to the A, but since it's grouped together and it's multiplying by A, I can divide it as if it was a single variable, but we're dividing the whole thing out. So Z minus B divided by Z minus B. And you get your A isolated. M over C minus B. All right, so that is your answer. Okay, so now let's talk about your independent practice. Your independent practice is to do the rest of the problems, but you need to be aware that these questions, so go ahead and pause the video so that you can write these questions down or highlight them if you printed it out. You are not required to do them. They are not bonus points either. They are challenge problems that we will post the key to, but those you do, if you don't understand those problems, it's not going to hurt you. You're not going to be quizzed on problems like 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27, and 30. Okay, so your goal now is to complete all of the other practice problems, and when you finish, you're going to go and check against your key on Canvas, or our key, sorry.